How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of Pokemon Masterclass podcast. I'm Zero.
I'm Justin. What's up, everybody?
And we've got a lot to talk about today, as we kind of always do. Justin, do you like legendary Pokemon?
I do like legendary Pokemon. Do you like legendary Pokemon, Brandon?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're a
boy,
little...
howdy, do I have the episode for you.
Well, whether you do or don't, if you're playing any sort of ranked on the Switch, you don't really have a choice. You should tune into this episode and learn all about it, because there's some new implementations.
We're going to have to learn to love legendaries.
Yeah.
Another thing really quick before we get into it. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That stuff actually really does help more than you know. So please leave comments.
Make sure you hit the little bell icon to stay updated with all of the Pokemon Masterclass news as it comes out.
Yep, we want to hear from you guys too, so please leave comments. Please interact with the page.
Absolutely.
Really does help. Justin, what's been going on in your life? Before we dig into Pokemon stuff, what have you been up to, man?
Not a whole lot lately. Just working, and that's pretty much it for my personal life outside of Pokes. You've been up to a little bit more than I have. What's you been going on since last episode? 2
big things have happened in my life. Number 1, I saw episode 76 of My Hero Academia. For those of you who know, you know. And if you don't know, you should find out.
You should get on that train.
Because it's some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Other than that, the other sort of important thing is... Child number 3 was born.
Hey!
If any of you guys...
Player number 3 has joined the room.
Yep. If any of you guys watched the Duskmane, the Zekrom Duskmane ranked video that we did, I had mentioned that my wife was pregnant and going to be having a baby anytime. And like 8 hours later, we went to the hospital.
8 hours later.
So,
right before the big snowstorm, too.
Yeah, right before we had a huge storm in Michigan. So
yeah. So everything's all healthy? Mom, baby, dad?
Yep. Mom,
how you feeling?
Baby. I'm tired.
Ready for a good Pokemon day?
I'm super tired, guys.
Yeah?
Super tired.
3 boys. Well, good news is, we used to make jokes all the time. We grew up with all of us friends as a gamer group, and now you're breeding your own. You've got your own little army. You got your squad to go take on any online game you want to once you raise them up.
Yep, we got a house full of we can do doubles in Super Smash Bros. Now just in my house.
There you go.
All right, well, there's that.
So what about inside the Pokemon world?
Yep,
what do we got going on first? What do you want to talk about?
First, I want to talk about the newest global competition coming out.
Oh, yep. Just got announced recently, right?
Yep. So just a second here, and I will pull up that page. So we got another global challenge. It's just like a fun online tournament. It's you're going to be allowed 1 restricted, and it's singles. I don't know if it's 3v3 or if it's 6v6.
Yeah, it's interesting. My guess is that you're going to be just like the singles ranked ladder, bringing in 6 and then choosing 3 each game, and have so you're going to have a bench to choose from.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So you can use 1 restricted Pokemon, same ones that you could be using for Series 8.
Yep, same rule set.
Yep. So scrolling through, showing you all here. Banned Pokemon is the Mythicals. You get 50 BP for playing, so go play.
Yep. And all these Pokemon right now that he's on, obviously these are the Series 8 rules.
Yeah.
For both doubles and singles ranked ladder for the next 3 months. This is the big topic of discussion today.
So if you want a free 50 BP, then go log on, play 1 battle, and then be done, and then you get the BP. As far as the date goes, I think that is the end of February for that one. I think it's the last weekend in February.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
it should be fun.
You want free BP?
You gonna try to play in that?
I'm gonna play at least 1 for the free BP.
I'm gonna be in Florida that weekend, so I'm not gonna be able to be playing that. I'm gonna be on vacation.
You know what? I might just like make a meme team.
Yeah,
because I don't want to lock my good legendaries because they'll be locked for the weekend. So it's like, so that's it for that. Moving on to the next thing, we have tier trends for Showdown.
Yeah, so a little bit different now. We have tier trends instead of tier shifts every month because we are in the middle of our 3-month cycle.
Yep, so tiers are going to be updated every 3 months, and it looks like every month they're going to give us tier trends.
Trends. So basically, if we would have shifted the tiers, this is what could have, would have, should have moved.
Yep. things that are moving up, Skarmory, Mienshao, and Talonflame.
Big ones.
Skarmory, I think, is on the rise because of the ban of Spectrier.
Yep.
And he's kind of just been underrated.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's just kind of been an underrated mon.
Yeah, Corviknight kind of fills a similar role, but not... It depends on the team, right? Because they have different abilities, way different stat distribution. It's interesting.
Skarmory gets Whirlwind.
Skarmory does get Whirlwind and Spikes.
Oh, Spikes. Does Corviknight get Whirlwind? He might. I think one of them doesn't get... because
I think one of them gets Tailwind and the other one doesn't.
And I think Defog is a part of it too. I don't know if they can. Too. Oh no, Corviknight can Defog.
Corviknight can.
Yeah. So
and Skarmory, I believe, lost it in the transfer up.
So yeah, I think the spike setting is a big one. He's a really safe setter of spikes.
Yep.
Mienshao is on the rise in RU. I believe that's because of the rise of Zarude. Mienshao and the Regenerator. Regenerator is obviously like gaining a lot of popularity. Well, I mean, it's been popular, but heavy duty boots plus Regenerator, he can U-turn out of things, come in, drop a close combat, and then just switch out without fear of being KO'd. And then U-turn, he's a really good user of U-turn.
Yep.
And
all the
he
time,
can just,
especially with that Regenerator ability.
Yep, he can just smack Zarude. It's like
Really
for free.
Yep.
So Talonflame, I don't know why he's on the rise, honestly.
My guess is he's actually quite a big threat down in lower tiers, depending on the team comp, because of the Gale Wings priority.
Yep.
He can do things like either roost back up to full to regain it, and then fire off a move like Dual Wing Beat. He does get Brave Bird also, but I personally like Dual Wing Beat better.
Same, because then Gale Wings doesn't get
turned
off.
You don't get turned off, but then also Tailwind. But yeah, priority Tailwind is pretty big too. So that would be my guess. He's also got good typing.
Yep.
Depending on certain team comps, he can fit that slot. Heavy Duty Boots is obviously really nice on him because he's normally times 4 weak to Stealth Rock.
Yep.
Allows him just to kind of switch in and out for free and be a nice, fast, offensive pivot.
Yep. Other Pokemon on the rise, Cinderace is just a good mon. I don't know why people don't use him more.
Yep.
He's got the coverage to really break down a lot of OU's top walls.
Great ability, and Libero makes everything stab.
Yep. Yeah, I really like Cinderace. I hope he does not get banned, honestly.
I hope so too, because I really do like him.
Yeah.
He's a good bunny. He's the proper, I don't want to say balance, but I think he is a close thing to balance, if there is such a thing, in terms of a true glass cannon. I don't think he's bulky enough to warrant being banned.
Yeah.
And I don't think and especially with Pyro Ball not being perfect accuracy.
Exactly.
Too.
I was just going to say the same thing. Is he can miss Pyro Ball.
Absolutely, and that's his main. And without Pyro Ball, he doesn't. I mean, are you going to do Flare Blitz and weaken yourself? Or are you going to do Fire Punch?
Nope.
Are you going to do Blaze Kick?
Nope. Scissor's on the rise in UU. I want to say that's because I put out a how to use Scizor guide.
It must be.
Link will be in the description. No, I think that's because I think that has partly to do with Latias and how people thought Latias was going to get removed. Just another user of Mystical Fire being removed.
Yep.
And in the video, I talked about his coverage. Just between knockoff, dual wing beat, and bullet punch, you're hitting
the knockoff is
so
such
much.
A big
You're hitting
addition.
so much of the tier. Like you can it's pretty disgusting. Check the video. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Zacian, the normal form, is on the rise in Ubers because Zacian Crown has been banned. No surprise there. I went from like 70th most used Pokemon, and now it's in like the top 15 or something like that.
People are definitely trying it out with either Life Orb. I've definitely seen some Choice sets.
Yeah,
I've
Choice
seen
Band is a really popular
Choice
one.
Banded. There's a couple of Choice Scarf sets running around. I have seen some Focus Sash with Swords Dance. It's not as prevalent, but I definitely have seen people talking about it.
Yep.
I actually faced one myself on Showdown.
Yep. For drops, the biggest news as far as drops goes is Buzzwole. He's dropping in OU. This one's really easy. Urshifu Dark is banned. Urshifu would run 2 dark moves and 2 fighting moves, which Buzzwole walls both of those. Or he would run U-turn in place of one of those, which Buzzwole also walls. So Buzzwole was the easiest answer to Urshifu Dark, and with him not being in the tier anymore, there's less of a need for him.
And it's not that Buzzwole is going down drastically, and he's still a great poke. It's just the numbers are trending down because it's not as much of an auto include.
Yep. And with things getting banned, Magearna is running out of checks. So as long as Magearna's in the ban or is in OU, it's a problem for Buzzwole.
I expect that we're going to be hearing about her maybe in the next couple, maybe by episode 5, we might be talking about her in our
I agree
in our next pick and ban phase.
Yep. And Taste falling in RU, I think this is a lot to do with the predictability. The choice set is kind of the only viable set. It's super easy to play around. He does hit hard, but I would say that is his biggest detriment is you kind of know it's coming because there's not really much of another way to run him.
Nope. But it is really strong because he can have access to inner focus, which means you can't flinch, and also you're immune to intimidate. He's fire type, so you can't be burned. So he does have a unique niche in that he has that immunity to the normal cruxes of physical sweepers.
Yep. Pincurchin is falling in PU. I believe this is because although there are a lot of really popular Rising Voltage users in PU, like Jolteon and Heliolisk, I believe it's because Virizion really discourages the use of Rising Voltage. And
really
Virizion,
big special defense, resist the hit, grass type.
And then a lot of people also like to run Sucker Punch on Pincurchin, which Virizion likes to switch into.
Also.
Yep, Virizion likes to switch into that or take those. So I think Virizion has a lot to do with the fall in Pincurchin. I feel like a lot less people feel the need to run Rising Voltage because there are 10 to 15 good resistances and immunities, like Sandaconda is a big one.
And Palisand is down there.
Yep. Other really quick falling Pokemon. Clefable's falling. I don't really understand that, but
yeah, quite a bit too.
Yeah, from 24 to 18%.
Yeah, it's a decent margin.
Yeah, it is. But expect to see her rise if things like Magearna get banned. And,
and
Melmetal.
Yeah, Magearna and Melmetal are probably two of the reasons. Obviously, Magearna being a fairy type that might do a job that Clefable does, but better.
Especially offensively.
And then Melmetal being a possible check or just straight counter, depending on the set, to a pure fairy like
Clefable. Yeah. If those two get banned, expect Clefable rises to go right through the roof.
Absolutely.
So buy
right
stock.
Back to where she was.
You should buy stock in Clefable now.
Agreed. Buy low, sell high.
Yeah. Crobat's falling. I think that's because he has really no offensive capability. As far as I'm concerned, his special move pool is pretty good with Nasty Plot, but he just doesn't hit hard enough.
Yeah.
His physical move pool is not good in RU.
Nope.
And so he is best relegated to a support role, and his defenses are really bad. So when you see Crobat, you kind of know that things are coming like
a very fast, frail support. It can work, but it's risky.
Taunt.
Yep.
And then the last one is Quillfish has fallen in PU. He doesn't hit hard enough for the tier. PU is actually kind of solidifying into a real tier. Yeah, it's if you look at the PU mons,
it's a fun metagame.
Quillfish just doesn't really
without a Swords Dance boost. Like he really needs to get.
He needs the rain. He needs the rain, and I mean you can run the Intimidate set, but. Yeah, I just don't think there's ever a good place for Quillfish in PU right now.
And it's sad too. Maybe he could get an evolution or a Galarian form or something in the future.
Please,
that'd be cool.
So yeah, that's all we got for tier trends. As far as singles goes, we got one more piece of news. We do have bans and non-bans to talk about really quickly.
Yep.
The first one is. Spectrier. Spectrier did get banned.
Yep, no more Spectrier in OU. That's an uber poke now.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because there's literally no place for Spectrier.
No, I felt like there was definitely ways around it in OU, but at the same time, it kind of pigeonholed every team to make sure that you had an answer to it. So I understand, it was one of those very Marmite. If you're not running it, you have to have the counter to it.
Yep. So, Good Horsey is banned.
Yeah,
no more Horsey.
No ankles.
Now you don't need your Sucker Punch users. moving on.
Yep, basically.
Latias did get banned from UU. I think the versatility really pushed her through the roof. What do you think?
We talked about it in the last episode, and
Yep.
whether or not she was or was not going to go up to borderline. And yep, I think it was a unanimous vote, wasn't it?
It was pretty close.
But yeah, regardless, her relative bulk, her speed, her special offensive pressure, her incredible move pool. There's no doubt she is one of the premier Hoenn pokes of all time.
It was actually a very close vote.
Was
34 to 30.
34 to 30.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, just barely over 50%. So
barely made it.
Yeah.
So maybe there's hope for her to come down in UU again because I mean she was very strong. But again, I'm biased here because I'm such a fan of Hoenn type. So
yeah, I don't expect a lot to see her use a lot in OU. I feel like Latias does that better. If you see her in OU, you're probably going to be seeing her relegated to support roles.
Support roles or maybe the calm mindset.
Yeah, that's probably which I don't know if you would run. I'd rather run a Choice Specs Latios.
Yep. Ooh, yeah, that's strong.
Virizion did not get banned from PU.
Correct. She's still staying down in PU like we had mentioned, and now that is a very potent both offensive and defensive threat down there.
Yep, can run screens too, but I feel like the offensive.
You fought mine with dual screens.
Yep, and it was a very potent one. So I think it's a good Pokemon for the tier. I think
very much.
But we'll see if the versatility. It kind of feels like Latias to me.
Yeah.
It's like. It's so versatile, like you never know what to expect.
That Swords Dance is really powerful too down there because if you get one Swords Dance up, it's got such a good speed tier. Grass and Fighting are actually two really strong stab types to have down there. That's actually a really good combination.
Yep. And then the last one, oh no, that was so as far as that goes, that's for those. The last things to talk about, Vullaby,
Baby Mandibuzz
got suspect tested and did not get banned out of Little Cup. We don't talk much about Little Cup or play Little Cup. So for all you Little Cup players, your bird is still there. And then ZU is suspect testing Sneasel.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
You know, it sounds funny, but
it makes sense.
Sneasel was...
Especially on a ladder where they still have stab knockoff. You got to remember that.
Yeah. So when you look at Sneasel's stats, it's actually still pretty relevant.
Yep.
It's still
absolutely
totally usable
kind of like a Scyther almost, which is used, I believe, right now in PU. Really
he's
strong.
like PU or NU. Yeah. So it's pretty similar situation. So Sneasel is actually a threat. So one thing to keep in mind. So that's all we got for singles news.
Absolutely.
So moving on to a new segment that we are going to be start doing in this episode of future episodes called Poke Projects.
Yeah, we want to make this like an actual little mini segment of the podcast every episode.
Yeah, just a little what have you been up to as far as like Pokemon related stuff. What
specifically in the Pokemon hobby.
Yep. Yeah.
Like outside of, I've been, just working on the podcast or stuff. What else have we been doing that's just inside of our hobby? Have you just been playing on ranked or whatever?
So what have you been doing, man?
For me, I have been spending most of my time on either Showdown, practicing a bunch of different Series 8 VGC teams, or I've been on the Switch grinding to put teams. I've got now 5 different Series 8 teams fully done in cart. They're perfectly done just as they are on Showdown. I've been breeding for the past week.
Yeah.
But I've got them all done, and so I've got 5 teams now on
out of resources.
I can plan ranked.
He's all out of resources.
I ran out of everything.
Candies. We need more Dynamax candies.
Got to do some raid night tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna do some raids.
That's what I've been working on. What have you been up to? Kind of the same.
Yeah,
right?
kind of the same thing. I have been playing not as much as you because obviously I had the kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've been putting in a lot of work. I have been putting in a little bit of work. I did a Gengar Showdown live.
You did. That was a OU video, right?
Yep.
For singles ladder?
Showdown. We used Specs Gengar. Go check that video out. We'll link that one.
Very nice.
And then we did we started a new video series called...
We did. We recorded a brand new one, and it was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, we're calling that the extracurricular, where we talk about things where we really want to talk about them, but feel like they didn't warrant an entire episode, or maybe they wouldn't fit into what we were doing that week.
We kind of had a little bit too much to talk about, and we didn't want to make a really long podcast. We just split up and made our own little video series, and that'll just be an extra discussion. So
yeah, expect a lot more of those.
Yeah, this time was it was basically one of the most prevalent topics since Sword and Shield was announced was about the national decks and the fact that not every Pokemon is in the game yet. So we were talking about you picked 3 and I picked 3, and we chose our favorite pokes that are, or some of our favorite pokes that maybe aren't in the game yet and we would love to see implemented in the future, whether DLC or potential Gen 4 remakes or whatever else we have in store for the future of Pokemon on the Switch.
Yep. So we're going to link that in the description below.
Absolutely. Check that out. It was a really fun time.
Yeah. So, moving on to the next thing. So, streamer and competitive Pokemon player JoeUX9, he has been in recent months doing streamer tournaments or hosting his own grassroots tournaments because he wants to build a competitive scene. Kudos to him. Check out his channel. Check out everything he does. He's also a really good player. He had a really good run in the second Players Cup. So he did this. This happened before. Was this before Series 8 started? Like the day before or something?
So this is the weekend before. It started on a Monday, and this was the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before it.
Yep. So these are the top 21 teams here, and these are all using restricted Pokemon.
Yep. So as you can see, obviously here, it's 1 restricted.
Yes, 1 restricted.
As opposed to 2 in previous gens. This is the first time ever that it's either been 0 or
2.
Or 2. There's never had 1 restricted before.
Yep.
So
yeah, because the Ultra Series had 2. First thing that I notice, there's a lot of doggies.
There are a lot of Zacian Crown.
Yep, and a lot of doggies.
And not only that, 100% of the Zacian Crowns, you see what they're paired with? Every single one there's 1 pairing. What is that?
Gigantamax, Lapras.
Yep, because obviously Zacian can't Dynamax, so the first place that people start is, okay, I'm going to pick a good Dynamax to go with it. And what's better than a turn 1 dual screens to go with your super broken steel-type doggy?
Nothing. You just protect that doggo turn 1, set up the screens, and then you just take down entire teams. As you can see, the winning team used that strategy. They also had a Sableye, Alcremie, Porygon 2, and Rotom Heat.
The Toaster.
Yep.
Big fan.
Yep. Other things that you notice?
Yeah, there are quite a few Kyogres. They're all the Torn Ogre combo that everybody's been running lately, which is Tornadus Kyogre. Yep. And obviously, it'll be the Focus Sash with Prankster Tailwind, and then Kyogre turn 1 is just going to rain down murder with water spouts in the rain.
Yep, he does so. Another thing is lots of Dialga.
Yeah, the Dialga's actually something we're going to talk about today, and I'm very excited about. Very strong poke in the meta right now. It's one of the bulkiest, one of the best typing, and an insanely good move pool.
Yep.
He can take care of a lot of the big threats, like Zacian Crown and Kyogre.
Yep.
I think he's absolutely S tier.
Yeah. So the last thing that I want to point out with this is the resurgence of Amoonguss. Amoonguss is on so many of these teams.
It's because of the Spore. The ability to either, a big thing that people have been running, I'm not sure about these teams on the tournament, but definitely on ladder recently is the Focus Sash to make sure that you get at least 1 Spore off.
Yep.
Because there's only 1 Uber per team, there's only 1 restricted per team, being able to spore that big threat, to be able to spore the Zacian, to be able to spore the Kyogre or the Dialga or, Necrozma Duskmane or whatever the big threat is, to be able to instantly put that thing out of commission, and then put, obviously you're playing the role there on sleep wake up turns.
Yep, and then a little bit of Rage Powder never hurt anybody.
Rage Powder is really nice too for little redirection.
So that's going to bring us to the last thing we talk about before the break, and that's our first impressions of Series 8.
Yeah.
So we want to talk really quickly about our early impressions of Season 8. I want to start with you, Justin, because you're really liking it.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun, actually. This is... I've been making teams like a madman over the past 2 weeks. I have made a team, played at minimum 5 games with, I'm trying to count here, I want to make sure I get it right, but it would be 12 different Ubers now.
Yeah, yeah. This dude is hitting me up at like 3 in the morning, like, bro, check out my Reshiram team. And
Yep. I've been trying a lot of different, so I'm definitely trying to get the reps in under my belt. Again, there are certain teams that I've been playing a lot more of or less of. There are certain teams that I wasn't a big fan, so I stopped at 5 games.
Yeah, I've had that too.
But on Showdown, I mean, you can rep through 5 games in about
like super quick,
hour and a half or so.
Yeah, but then just like start fine tweaking the teams that you enjoy.
Exactly. So, but I have got through almost all of the big name legendaries, and the ones that I haven't personally played through, and that's including the ones that he has made that we've played through together.
Yeah.
So like, I don't have a Mewtwo team on my Showdown account, but he does, and we've played his team together. So I count that as his experience under the belt.
So far, I've not had the best time with Series 8.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a slow start for you.
Yeah, part of that is because I feel like I'm using non-meta mons. Like I've spent a lot of my time.
You're trying to go outside the box.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like I spent a lot of time on Mewtwo, and it's like realistically, like why would you use Mewtwo when Calyrex exists?
Calyrex, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like I'm using other things like Zekrom. That team was really fun. I got a Zekrom team, but I was tired of getting water spouted to death. Yep. So I made a Zekrom team. It's actually super fun, and it's a pretty good counter to Kyogre.
It is a very good counter to Kyogre. Zekrom actually is a lot of fun. The Zekrom team is really good. Yeah. I think there's more there than meets the eye, and Aaron actually just put out a Zekrom. We've been on this for a couple. We talked about it last episode. You were on the Zekrom team for quite a while, but Aaron was running a little bit of a different set on both his Zekrom and his team supporting it. He ran the Baby Doll Eyes support with Umbreon. What did you think of that?
I liked it. I like my tech better.
No, the Baby Doll Eyes specifically. Not necessarily.
Like it.
It doesn't have to be paired with Zekrom, but just you had mentioned off camera that we were talking about Baby Doll Eyes as kind of a really nice tech.
I've always had my eye on it, but I just like never pulled the trigger on it. Like I just haven't done it yet. But the priority -1 is nice.
Yep, that was the ticket there, because that being able to shoot that off of any mon that carries it, almost like a prankster. It's such invaluable utility in a game like VGC Doubles, when there's so much speed control variance shifting between airstreams and weather pokes that have it, or airstream boosts, smart max strike, lowering speed, icy winds, there's trick room, there's all sorts of speed. So be able to have a priority move like that is actually really strong.
So I got another couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
And I will also be answering these questions. Do you think it's balanced? Do you think this is a balanced series? Honest take. In the early impressions, do you think this series is balanced?
I don't think it's. I don't know if I would call it balanced. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm having a lot of fun with a very wide variety of teams.
The fun factor is definitely there.
Him and I share our love of Pokemon, and we share that competitive drive. We want to win, but we also share that fondness for not going straight down the center. Yeah, we don't want to be straight
which is
up.
A blessing and a curse.
It is. So it does make testing a little tough sometimes, because we do want to kind of, maybe 15 or 20 degrees off center. We don't want to be doing Landorus, Incineroar, Regieleki on every single team. We could.
Yep.
But we already know that works.
Yep.
We want to and people have already done videos of those. There's plenty of those, and we will feature those.
They get them all fast.
Exactly. We will definitely be featuring those Pokemon. It's not like I have a Regieleki. That was the Reggie that I chose. You chose
and I chose Drago, yeah.
Yeah, but so it's not like we don't like them or don't. It's just we like to show you other options in case you're looking for them. Like, okay.
Yeah, I literally chose Drago because everyone else chose Aleki.
So
it's like we wanted a first-hand.
Yeah, and now we have that option in case, you make a team with Drago, and I could just rent that from you, or I could have Aleki and vice versa for you.
Yep. My thoughts, I don't think it's balanced. I think there are... And this is early impressions, mind you.
Early impressions. So first 2 weeks of Showdown ladder. We haven't done a whole lot of ranked on Switch because, again...
Yeah, but we will be.
In our Pokemon projects, that's what we've been working on the past 2 weeks, is getting these teams worked out with what we want on Showdown, and then we spend the time to actually put them in the game and breed and spend the time leveling up to 100 and putting in bottle caps to make sure and doing raids to get all the legendary. We put all that work in after we test the team on Showdown.
I don't find a lot of balance so far. I feel like there's only the most prominent strategy I feel like is weakness policy Fatmons.
Yep.
And I feel like that's the only winning strategy right now. That's the only way I'm getting wins. It's really hard to run something like a Mewtwo, like a highly offensive mon. I feel, like Calyrex Shadow.
Yeah.
I don't find those teams to be doing well.
The glass cannons.
Yeah, I don't find those teams doing well, and it's unfortunate because in
I
Series
agree.
7,
Calyrex Shadow was one of my weakest teams, actually, and I was kind of surprised by that because it's very strong, and I was running it with Expanding Force on Psychic terrain, but it's just... It's the typing and its frailty.
Yep.
You have to be so careful. And even though it's not weak to some of the common threats, it's just not bulky enough to live regardless.
Still getting 2-hit KO'd by a lot of things, even in the Dynamax.
And you're getting 1-hit KO'd by Kyogre.
Yeah. So, do you think it would be better with 2 legendaries?
No.
No?
I love the fact that there's only 1 legendary because there has been a lot of times, like I said, where if you get the Spore off or paralysis or if you just outplay them in another way, maybe you kill it or you trade in a positive manner. There are ways to get past that 1 restricted mon, and then it feels like Series 7. And Series 7 was some of the funnest time I've had in VGC since starting this format.
Yeah. I personally think it would be more balanced.
Really?
Yeah, I do think it would be more balanced with a legendary because with Dynamax, there is no way to use your Dynamax, in my opinion, there's no way to use your Dynamax defensively right now like you could before. When you would use your Dynamax defensively.
Well, have I got a team to share in the main segment for you?
And so I don't think you can use your Dynamax defensively and not get punished. I feel like it's kind of use your Dynamax to go ham or lose.
I definitely agree in that having a mixture of both really good bulk and good offense at the same time is the winning strat. But in that, I guess that's what I mean by there are defensive Dynamax plays that I've made.
Yeah.
But it's on the same turn that I'm also dealing a ton of damage with like a Steel Spike or
but there's still offense involved in that situation.
It's a bruiser play.
Yeah.
It's mixture. It's not straight defense.
Yep. I do feel like adding another restricted mod would take some of the weight off of the rest of the team. But like I said, early impressions. We got 3 months of this. I'm still going to keep playing. We're still going to have a good time.
Yep.
Last thing before we go to the break. Pokemon that have impressed you so far that you were not expecting.
That we didn't mention in the last week? Or last
Pokemon
episode?
that were not really on our radar that have popped up and are...
Dialga.
Yeah, Dialga.
Dialga was the one that really impressed me. Zekrom, we talked about, but it actually has impressed me a lot because of the dual wing beat, which is obviously an Airstream option.
Yep.
You know why I think it's working right now? Because people don't expect him to have the Airstream.
Yeah.
I don't think people, and I do, maybe now that Aaron Cybertron has put out 2 battle videos with it, maybe now people catch on because he's obviously very popular.
Yeah.
Gets a lot of notoriety, so maybe now people catch on that he does have his own speed control built in.
Mm-hmm.
But we have definitely, both of us with that team, that it's your team, but we both have used it. I've got a copy of it on my account too, and we practice with each other's teams also to give feedback. But the Airstream, I think, is the big one on there. So the other one besides that would be regular Solgaleo, and that's obviously because of his full metal body, which is ostensibly just clear body. You can't lower his stats.
Yeah. I feel like he was not on anyone's radar because of Necrozma Duskmane.
Yep.
Because it's like, why would you run Solgaleo over Duskmane?
It's because this one's faster.
Yeah. And no, I've been super impressed with Solgaleo.
It's the speed and then the ability, because Duskmane can be intimidated. And parting shotted, and that actually has come into play.
Yep.
And full metal body is a really nice. So it's a different way to play a very similar style.
Yep. Pokemon I have not been impressed with. Number one offender would be Calyrex Shadow.
Yeah.
This thing,
I agree.
like, he's still powerful if you're not prepared for it, but Justin play tested him a lot. I've beat, like, every Calyrex Shadow that I've gone
Yep.
up against. And you mentioned before, like, the Astral Barrage and
I
Expanding
won
Force
two out
spam.
of I won 2 out of 5 games.
Yeah, like, winning with that sort of offense is dream scenario. And it only happened for you a couple times, you know? So,
Yeah, there was only one time where somebody just didn't bring the right. They didn't even have it on their team. They didn't have a single dark type.
yeah, you know what I mean?
And they didn't bring their steel type. So I literally just taunt expanding force, and then the rest of the game was double expanding force with Indeedee and
Yep. And it's like I said, dream scenario.
Yep.
Like literally, like you dream about games going that well, and they never do. So
No.
I haven't been impressed with that. I've also been super underwhelmed with Zamazenta. I don't think we really put him in high
no.
regards, but
I don't think we've
very
unlocked his
underwhelming.
potential, but I definitely agree. He is the lesser of the two dogs, unfortunately.
early meta, he's super underwhelming.
Yeah, he might be a nice sleeper pick, but for right now, I don't rate him that high.
Me either. So yeah, I think we're gonna take a little break, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk to you guys about teams. We're gonna share 10 teams. Actually, we have a bonus
Absolutely.
team too, so we're gonna share 11 teams with you.
Yeah,
we
we
have
had a
rental
lot
codes.
to talk about in the main segment. So stay tuned after the break. We'll be right back here for you. We're going to go take care of our stuff, go get a refill of coffee, and we'll see you after that.